I'm going to try to spend the next 16 minutes explaining what happened in the last 5 minutes. And in the end, I hope it will all make sense, okay? Everything is energy. So there's a lot of energy in this room right now, right? And we're going to try to determine what the level of that energy is. The first level that I'm going to announce today is Albert Einstein vibrated or calibrated at an energy level of 499. That was his vibrational frequency on a scale from 1 to 1000. 499 is the level of wisdom, meaningful life, intellect, science, and inspiration and intuition. He was 1 point away. It's also the level of the throat chakra. He was 1 point away from 500, which is when the heart chakra starts to open. And it's the level of love. Okay? So I want to ask you for a moment. To close your eyes. Close your eyes and think of a person that annoys you, someone you have a conflict with, someone you struggle with, someone you had a drama or an argument or a disagreement with. Think of that person right now and just feel it in your body. Just feel it on the body level. Now switch to another person in your mind, and that will be a person you admire, adore, love, appreciate, and feel that in your body. Okay, thank you. You can open your eyes. This is not a talk about kinesiology per se, but I'm going to make 1 or 2 demonstrations so you know what I'm talking about. Otherwise, you'll be wondering what I'm throwing around all these numbers here.
Left or right?
This one. Okay. I'm going to ask a question in my mind, quietly, silently, so she can't influence it. And I am doing my best to be as neutral as possible. Otherwise, it won't work. Okay? I'm going to ask this question silently. No one will know what I'm asking. Hold. 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 Okay. Hold. 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 Okay, thank you. All right, so I've been asking questions or making statements in my head, seeing how her body reacts to it. Everyone in this room is a pendulum on 2 legs. And each one of you has a Wi-Fi signal, an internal Wi-Fi signal. And there is a different strength to this, okay? A different strength of Wi-Fi signal. All of you who own a smartphone will know this. If you walk into the jungle with your smartphone, all that's left is static or silence. Nothing will happen. There will be no reception. I'm going to go into that in greater detail. What I just asked was, what was the vibrational frequency in the room while the band was playing? And the vibrational frequency in the room while the band was playing was around 560, 570. That's the number that came up. I'm asking the question, the arm goes down, it's a no. I'm asking the same question, the arm stays strong, it's a yes. Truth is strong and positive. Lies are weak and weaken you. So when I say something in my mind, and it's true in an energetic frequency level, the body reads that energy, the arm goes down, it's a no. So I can go as like a detective and just make statements and go yes, no, yes, no. So the vibrational frequency was above 560, yes, above 570, yes, above 580, no. And I'm asking the same question over and over again just to confirm it. So the point is 560, 570, that's the vibrational frequency in the room during the time the band was playing. That's the Dalai Lama. That's St. Francis of Assisi. That's a very open heart chakra. That's a very beautiful energy to reside in, to feel, and to be part of it. And you know, this is like a virus. Energy is like a virus. It contaminates you. I am very much appreciative if 570 is contaminating my energy level. All right? It's going to bring me up. I also asked her what was the energy level in the room before the band started playing. It was below 400. It's not a bad level. It's not evil. It's not dark. It's just not an open heart chakra. It was still in the throat chakra, still in the power chakra. The level of 3 and 400 is power chakra and throat chakra. It's the intellect. It's the rational mind. It's the left brain. So that's what was happening, okay? So before I continue to talk, I want you to imagine for a moment, because for me, I'm not here to convert you, just so get that out of the way, okay? I'm not here to convert or convince. It's not a religion for me. For me, kinesiology is a science, It's not a science in a traditional sense, but it's like a magical science. It's a spiritual science. And sometimes when I say that, people look at me and go like, well, it's not a science pushing someone's arm. And I'm like, okay, I'm not trying to convince you. This is where I am today, and this is what I believe to be true. Travel back in time for a moment. We're in 2015 right now, okay? 520, 530 years ago, it was before 1491. And when you looked at a world map, if you had the luxury to look at a world map in 1491, the maps looked very different from what we know today the globe to look like. And a lot of people believe that if you were going out on the Atlantic, at some point, you know, you would fall off the edge of the earth. A lot of people also believed the planet was still flat. They believed it was the center of the universe. We didn't know much about what reality really was. And you know, I sometimes, when I think of us in 2015 right now, how we're trying to figure out the universe around us and the universe within, to go beyond the rational mind, I think we're still a little bit in 1491 right now. And you know, and if you jump 500 years ahead, imagine, you know, the 3D world, flesh, blood, bones, thinking, the limitation of the mental, rational left brain. You know, a lot of people on this world still believe this is all there is. I'm touching myself, I can hear myself, I don't believe what I can't see. Okay, so this is what happened when you were walking around in the 13th or 14th century telling people that, you know, the earth is actually round. It's not the center of the universe. The sun is the center of our Milky Way, and there is much more going on than that. And you know, people were burned and killed because they were a little bit ahead of their time. And I'm assuming that you know, none of us gets burned anymore. Maybe some of us get burned in the media or by gossip, but we're not being burned literally anymore in the real world, no? Well, maybe in some countries we do. But the point is that if, you know, there are people like in this room, if we are ahead of our time and we are having visions and we're talking about things that are visionary, just be aware that keep an open mind and an open heart about anything that I'm going to share with you right now, okay? And again, I'm not trying to convert you or convince you. Take what you take and leave the rest. We come a long way, it appears. 2 million years. This is all in one picture. It's 2 million years, okay? And a lot of people think that this is the be-all and end-all of human evolution, Homo sapiens, yeah? But what if there is a next level, Homo spiritus, perhaps the spiritual human being, where we go beyond the mind and beyond the body, and we evolve into completely something else, the spiritual human being. That could be the next level. And I think, in my opinion, where most of humanity still is, about 80 to 90% of humanity, and I'm going to back it up with some numbers in kinesiology, is that, you know, if we are comparing ourselves, humanity as a whole, and as individuals maybe as well, we are the seeds that are sprouting, and although we're sprouting, we're kind of still under the earth. We don't see the big picture. We don't really see what's really going on, all right? So a few hundred years ago or 1,000 years ago, the Mayans in this area, they knew kinesiology, which is very astonishing. I didn't know that. I learned about that recently. I've been doing kinesiology for 15 years, and I just recently found out that the Mayan warriors were using this when they were walking in the jungle, go hunting, and they found water. One of the warriors was putting his arm in the water and stretching his other arm out, and the other warrior was pushing it. If the arm went down, they weren't drinking the water. If the arm was strong, they were drinking it. So, you know, again, truth, high energy, you stay strong, pendulum. Lies or anger or hate or frustration, antagonism, whatever that is, greed, low energy, your arm goes down. The same is true for water. The same is true for the books you read. The same is true for the music you listen to. The same is true for the thoughts you're thinking. So what the Mayans didn't know, because they didn't have them yet, was the cell phones, right? And again, we are cell phones on two legs. So all of us have a Wi-Fi signal, and that Wi-Fi signal has a different strength. There's this U2 song, no? It says, it goes like, we're all one, but we're not the same. I hope you're not hearing me being judgmental, but I think there is some truth to it, and it's backed up with kinesiology. There we're all one, we're coming all from the same source, and that source split itself up into billions of pieces, not just on this planet, but you know, as you can look around, there's 7.2 billion people right now, including insects and animals and trees and flowers and yada yada, and fish and whales and all these beautiful beings. Each one of these single beings is God incarnated in a different life form on a different frequency. So, I'm going to talk about the map of consciousness now and the chakras because it's important. Humanity as a whole And that has been determined with testing and testing and asking and asking. So these are the results, okay? Humanity as a whole is still in the root chakra. That is the level of survival, and that would be about 78 to 80% of humanity. 78 to 80% of humanity operates still in survival. We're still in survival. About only 22% of humanity are above that crucial level of 200. The root chakra calibrates below 200 or at, okay? Everything above that would be 22% of humanity, and that's where courage is starting, and that's where optimism and positive thinking is starting, and willingness. And then we get to some exciting stuff up here, where it's all of a sudden, like I said earlier, intellect, rational thinking, ethics, integrity, honesty, wisdom, inspiration, meaningful life. That's the level of 400 or higher. And then we get to the heart chakra, cha-cha, 500, love. Let me tell you, this is not planet 500 yet. Okay? Planet Earth, humanity, if you put all 7 billion people in a box and you shake it, on average right now, the calibration level of humanity is 209. 209, all 7 billion people. That's the level of courage. It's good news because we're in positive. That happened in the late 80s and the late 90s, where we have been dangling around for 5,000 years in negativity and below 200, and we worked our way all the way up as a collective people. I'm not talking individuals, okay? This is not gonna be able for me to talk about this in 16 minutes. But as a collective, we have been managing to go from below 200 to above 200, from pride to courage. We have a long way to go. We have a long way to go to positive thinking, optimism, 300. A long way to go to meaningful life, wisdom and inspiration, 400. How does this relate? Well, there's a huge range between this gentleman and the next gentleman, okay? Adolf Hitler, Dalai Lama, and that kind of represents the whole range of things. Adolf Hitler calibrated at 40 at the time, at the end towards his life was 40. That's the level of a Komodo dragon, okay? And the Dalai Lama calibrates at 570, which is the level of unconditional love and revelation. He's one of the few real avatars on this planet. There's about 1,000 of them, and they're counterbalancing the rest of negativity of humanity, including everyone in this room. Yeah, we're vibrating 400, 460, 500, yada yada. We're counterbalancing the negativity of humanity. So let's skip it. How does this relate to Tulum? Tulum calibrates at a very rare, precious level of 460. 460. That's very rare on planet Earth. There's no country at that level, and Machu Picchu and the Sphinx and the pyramids, they're calibrating around 510. The Gandhi River is around 520, which is the level of love. Why is Tulum precious? Because it's the bridge between the intellectual mind, the throat chakra, and the heart chakra. And that has been dangling lately in the last 2-3 years by influence coming from outside. And I'm not saying money is evil, okay? Don't get me wrong, this is not the topic of this talk. Money is not evil. But what are the intentions that we're coming into Tulum with? And what are we bringing to Tulum? And what is the future of Tulum? How does this talk relate to Tulum? Well, I'm not saying Cancun is evil, but it calibrates at 200 and 250. So, 250, 460, what's my choice? What energy am I residing in? What is my own frequency? And what do I feel attracted to? We're having seen this lately. New Year's, you know how it feels like when you come here and all of a sudden the partying starts. I'm not demonizing these activities, I'm not demonizing these people. We just need to be aware what kind of energy we're bringing to this place, what kind of pollution are we bringing to this place. And this is a crossroads, and I have a practice. And the practice is looking at my own shit. Instead of trying to convert or change the world and change other people, I'm looking at my own shit, and I'm stopping to pretend it's this. I'm stopping to pretend to put whipped cream on my poop, okay? And I think this is important for all of us who live here, all of us who do business here, all of us who invite certain substances, certain people into this community. Are we contaminating the energy field of Tulum, which is sacred? It's a sacred energy. It's a beautiful place. Ayahuasca calibrates at 598, peyote 580, temazcal 560. All the yogas that I know about are between 400 and 800, Kundalini yoga 510, cocaine speed calibrates at 6. That's the level of a serial killer, all right? So we need to be aware of what we're doing. We need to be aware of our practices, our thoughts, our feelings, our emotions. What am I bringing to the table? Love or hate? And that's my message to everyone who lives here, because I've been hearing a lot of complaining. The parties, the drugs, this and that, the raves, yada, yada. Well, that's antagonism, judgment that calibrates at 160. It's not much higher than the thing we're judging, okay? So it's important to keep that in mind, to preserve this beautiful Tulum, not just the white beach, not just the blue ocean, but also the energy of Tulum. Yeah, we're contaminating not just the beach or the earth or the cenotes. We may also be contaminating the energy field, and that's true for all of us. Yeah, even if we're judging the outsiders coming in, the money coming in. Let's skip that. I have to go on, my time is running. So what's the kind of pollution that we're bringing to the place, all right? What kind of contamination are we bringing in? And are we spreading love? Can I love the raves? Can I love the partying? Can I love these people coming in and can I send them love? That's actually kind of my message today. I have to rush a little bit. So Pachamama, all right? Pachamama, Tulum, same thing, no difference. And are we using it as a toilet? And what am I releasing? What am I releasing to this beautiful, beautiful place? Mother Earth, planet Earth, Tulum, no difference. It's all one, okay? So please be conscious of your actions, your thoughts, and what energy you are bringing to the table. Thank you very much.